Hey, what is going on, MLB community? Welcome back, and I'm sure if you guys watch me, you guys probably also saw the San Diego Studios stream yesterday talking about Team Epics coming, and I just wanted to give you guys my quick thoughts and opinions on it, because you guys know I have a very strong opinion on content, and the key term that I want to use here is usable content, right? So now whenever you get content in these types of game modes, whether it be Diamond Dynasty, Mutt, Fut, My Team, whatever it may be, right? You always are going to evaluate the content that is given to you based on how it's going to either help you build your team, whether it's the players itself that you could possibly add in, or is there a way that you could make coins, stubs, points, whatever it may be, right? And I see that there's a way for this to be beneficial for everyone. But there's a couple things I didn't like, but I want to just brief overview of what it is. So every team's going to have an epic program, which is essentially going to be built out very similar to like these career arcs, right? So every team starts out with a player. You get a player at the 0% mark, 25, 50, and then like 90 or 95, right? And then a completion is at 100. And when you complete a full Team Epic, you would get a souvenir, sort of like this one. And then you could use 5 souvenirs from Team Epics to help with Immortals, right? So 5 of those would give you 5% boost on an Immortal, right? So you could actually get up to 6 of them. So, I mean, that is a handy way to do things, right? It's a handy way. And a lot of the missions are very similar to stuff like this, where you've got to get statistics with each of the cards you're going to acquire throughout the chain of the Immortal. Plus, there's very team specific, so you're going to have to play one divisional rival game, one interleague game. Right, those are both pretty easy. Then you have to exchange players from the team, bobbleheads from that team, autographs from the team. And then you also have like a very generic large mission for hitting and pitching. And those missions seem to be a lot. Like one of them was, of course the number slips my mind, but it was 2, 3, 500 innings pitched. Was the one that they showed with the Orioles. So like 500 innings pitched with Orioles players or a bunch of stats. And like the stats for stuff like that was similar to like the grind you have to do for like Bob Gibson for pitching, or for Ken Griffey for hitting, or something like it's a lot. It is a lot of stats you have to get with players from those teams. But the good thing about it is that all of those team statistical missions are unlocked from the start, so you don't have to wait to unlock those. You can actually just start getting those as you're grinding for other stuff, playing ranked, playing events, playing BR, whatever it may be, right? So it's good. Now, some of the rewards seem very underwhelming. Now, I say that from my standpoint, right? From the team that I have. Now, if you are, you don't have maybe as good of a team as I do, some of these cards are probably really good for you, and that's great. There needs to be something for everybody within these. So while I would have liked to see personally, this is just me, I'm not saying this is a community thing or you guys should believe this too, a higher cost involved, providing a higher reward. Because we know that in the past you had to collect a full team, right? So if you wanted the Orioles, you had to collect all of the Orioles, right? You got to collect all of the Orioles, and then you would get a card. So similar to like what we have now, if you collect all the Orioles, in the past you would get this Adam Jones, right? And then there would be a sequence after that, which would provide you with a better card. A 90, 92, 93, whatever it may be. And based on the difficulty of completing the team, the reward sort of went up. There doesn't seem to be any correlation between the team and the reward, except for that it's a player who played on that team. So I would have liked to see just something a little bit different, where if you finished it for a much harder team, right? So say the Nationals had Andre Dawson as a final reward. 92 overall Andre Dawson, right? Something like that. And if it was a lot harder to do, I would be okay with trying to complete that mission. Additionally, what I would have really liked to see is that if you completed every division, you opened up an NL East epic, right? If you finish all the NL East, you get an NL East epic. You complete the NL East epic, you get a good NL East player. Same thing with every division. Same thing with the American League. Same thing with the National League. Same thing if you complete all 30, right? I would have really loved to see something like that. But it's not there. I mean, at least it's not there yet, at least. Maybe it will be. But one thing that this is going to do, it's going to change the price of some of the cards. But we're more changing the price on bobbleheads. These are going to go up. These are going to go up for the teams that are good. Bobblehead prices are going to go up for those teams because you're going to have to collect them, right? Same thing with autographs. The prices are going to go up. I mean, they're not up far yet, but they're going to go. They're starting to climb. The golds and the diamonds are starting to climb. These things used to be a good 600, right? And now they're creeping up just a little. Yesterday they were all right around 7, and then you see now they're at a lot of them are in that mid 700s range. I think that's going to continue to climb. And what this means for us people who pull packs is that when you pull a diamond bobblehead now or a gold bobblehead, you are essentially going to guarantee yourself that's a free pack. Now you can obviously use the bobblehead for whatever you want, or the autograph for whatever you want, but it's going to be adding value to packs. Now it may take away some value for our actual cards, because if you look, there's a couple teams where you saw that like the epic reward was one of the better ones. Something like the Tigers, where it was Victor Martinez. Tigers players they haven't moved yet, so if you wanted to make sure you got all this stuff, you're gonna have to hurry. Not necessarily on the players, maybe the bobbleheads and the autographs, but for here, like everyone's got a stack of players, in their binder. Since packs were free for so long. Like, look at all these. Like, I don't need to buy any Tigers players. I've got 125 players right here. It's 12,500 exchange value for commons. So, like, depending on what the exchange value is, I probably, with my binder being full, will be able to do them all. But we have Ryan Carpenter. He sells. Look at that. Didn't even notice that. But that's just one thing to keep in mind, and keep your eye on. If you saw any that you liked during the stream, just prepare. Go get a couple bobbleheads, a couple autographs. Make sure you get the right players for the team. And if you want to do the best way you can do exchange value, it's not trading in comments. It's finding someone like this guy, Mike Fires. He's a 72, but he's not expensive, right? You could probably put buy orders in for him at 60, and people would sell to you all day long, as opposed to these other 72s are more expensive. So when you guys do these exchange sets, keep in mind your cost to value, because me changing in him, who I could buy right now for 55 stubs, as opposed to saying, well, I'll just ditch my common. My common Chad Huffman sells for more and gives me way less. So just something to keep in mind. But I'm looking forward to seeing whatever it is. I hope that they drop it tomorrow. We can actually get a deeper look. And as I go through it, I will go through and I will give you my rankings on each and every epic. And just a general overthought. Once I actually get hands-on and eyes truly on it, we'll have a better idea. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. And we'll be back with some other stuff soon.